Hello there, my name is Kathy Dixon. Welcome to the Math Reflective. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for watching this video. I'm a 6th grade math teacher in Illinois. The Illinois State Board of Education has declared as Act of God days. We cannot give any grades that would be zipped into our home access system, our reporting system, during the Act of God days. So, gosh, how does that change things? How do we then use that in our Canvas learning management system? I'm going to go ahead and jump on a screen recording just to show you a little bit of things on my iPad. Okay, to begin, I'm just going to show you that we use Canvas as a learning management system. So this is my teacher dashboard for my Canvas courses. It does make it a lot easier that we're one-to-one with iPads. Of course, very grateful for that opportunity for our middle school students. So we already deliver all our PDFs within this system anyway. So if we go ahead and look at my advanced math class, I did switch over to posting things on our homepage to make it easier for parents and students. Normally, I have them go into modules, and we're trying to streamline this process so it's easier for parents and students. So you could see that we posted a week at a glance. We also posted our e-learning support times. We have to be on for students between 9 and 11 a.m. and 1 to 3 p.m. on e-learning days. Of course, this is flexible, as sometimes I get on, like 7:30 in the morning, I'm already answering questions with students. But these are the times that were required by our district. And then we also ask that students are checking email often throughout the day, because that is the best way for us to communicate with them. I switch my due dates from usually the next day after school till, that same evening at midnight, just because I know students are going to be waking up at different times, going to bed at different times. I want to give them the flexibility, but yet have them responsible for some kind of e-learning each day. And they are supposed to be committing to 5 hours a day. If you go ahead, I'm going to click on these e-learning student expectations so you can just have an idea of what our district has put out as far as student expectations. They are tracking to make sure that students are active within the Canvas app every day, and our principals and tech coordinators are kind of looking at that. However, we were just asked later in the week of our first e-learning week to just track if students haven't been participating at all in any assignments, and to engage the parents and see if we could get them going on some of the e-learning. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and... Okay, so back to the home page that shows Monday through Friday what we're going to expect. We were wrapping up with the 6th grade advanced math, Unit 5 of Open Up Resources 6-8 Math on rational numbers. So I wasn't sure how I was going to handle that, and we had made a quiz on lessons 13 through 16. So what I had them do is, first I put a YouTube video in there welcoming them to e-learning, and then I asked them to, on their honor, do it without a calculator, show work on every problem, and submit for scoring. And then the remaining 40 minutes that they would normally do in a class period with me would be spent on Khan Academy, doing some 6th grade statistics and probability skills. So that was an example of day 1. And then day 2, I thought, since we decided as a team not to assess and count this for a grade, and we got the e-learning information for day 2, I just put in a practice test for Unit 5. Since Khan Academy has aligned with illustrative mathematics, they're able to go in and follow along in the same exact units. And I had them just submit and screenshot their score so I could see that they did it. On the 3rd day, I had them work on a Unit 5 review, and I said that they could contact other friends by phone or however they wanted to do it, use any resource they wanted. The next day, on Thursday, they had to open up that review again, and I also supplied the key for them, and then I wanted them to grade and score it. So they would have submitted the first attempt, and then I'd be able to look at the second attempt and just see how they did when they scored it. Today is actually Friday. It's taking me a few days to get to do this screen recording. So today I called Con Friday, but what they're going to do is, the first thing that they're going to do is go back to that lesson 13 through 16 assessment and use this key to score it. We score using a C, PC, and Y system, which is correct, partial correct, and not yet. We're trying to do kind of a hybrid of standards-based grading, but our reporting system is still traditional. So students have been familiar with that all year. So then they are correcting that assessment and turning it back in the Monday assignment. So again, I can see a first attempt and a second attempt. And then the remaining time will be spent on Khan Academy Unit 8 again. One thing I wanted to note is I did have them reflect after they did the Unit 5 review, and then were able to look at the key and answer these 4 questions at the bottom of the review. How would you rate yourself overall? What is an area of strength, an area you still need to master, and what can you do as a learner to make sure you're mastering as it's taught? So I did notice today as I was going through, many forgot to do the reflection, so I went ahead and gave them feedback. Now here's an example of my 6th grade standard math class, which is co-taught with Mary Dooms, our math interventionist. And again, we have all the same information. I forgot to mention before, we do have a special tech support email for this e-learning time. And for our 6th grade standard students, we decided that we wanted to make sure we give them time to review some important skills that they usually struggle with and that we know that they need more space practice in. So for day 1, we did multiply decimals. We had a welcome to e-learning video for them as well. They had to watch the video and take notes in Notability or on paper. And then we had them attach the notes to the document as evidence. But actually, honestly, going back, hardly any of them did that. We decided not to worry about it. It was our first day. There was lots of glitches our first day. Then they had to do a multiplication computation worksheet and score that and correct and submit. So for an example, this is what the worksheet looked like. Okay, and then Tuesday, they learned about dividing decimals again, reviewed that, and had to do some problems. And then what we did on Wednesday and Thursday was a Flipgrid video. It was our first time using Flipgrid. I'm going to make a separate video about that, so you can look for that. And then on Friday, which is actually today, we put in a decimal multiplication and division puzzles. I thought it would be fun to give them more of a puzzle on Friday and let them kind of work at that and see what happened. Okay, so now I've got you focused on my laptop just so I can show you what I'm doing here with everything. If you go into, let's say, the divide decimals, that was for Tuesday. In Canvas, we use the speed grader part of it to grade, but just wanted to show you how we're handling the fact that we can't use points or assign grades and zip them into our reporting system. So we set up for an assignment that's out of 0 points, and then we chose an option, and I can show that in a minute, that will let us choose complete or incomplete. And that way the students can see if they still have a missing assignment. So if I go into the assignment details of divide decimals, you can see where I set that up. And if I go into edit and scroll down, I set it up as 0 points and as our practice category assignment group. And then there was this choice here. So instead of choosing points, I just chose complete or incomplete, and then save that information. And then when I go into the grades tab, which I'm not going to do right now because that'll show individual student names, but if I go into that, then I can see a check mark or an X for the complete or the incomplete. Just a little glimpse at how we handled that. Of course, we're learning as we go. We haven't used this system before in that way, so things may change.